Bible prophecy is active and unfolding daily. Zechariah 12, Isaiah 17, Psalm 83, Ezekiel 38. Here is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Shalom, my friends. Welcome to this week's newscast from the Jerusalem Post. In December, President Trump will have to decide whether to order the move of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem as promised years and years and years ago, or to delay it for another 6 months, as has been done every 6 months for years and years. What's your guess? Of course, Trump will certainly delay this dung burger for another 6 months, and I'm not even going to bother you with the rest of the news on this, my friends. I'm only mentioning it to highlight the idiocy of this ridiculous act of betrayal that's been going on for way too many decades. On Sunday, November 12th, from the Daily Mail UK, around 9 p.m., when most people were at home, a 7.3 magnitude earthquake hit the Iraq-Iran border. More than 330 people were killed. More than 2,500 were injured. Tremors were felt as far west as the Mediterranean coast. And the quake has been followed by more than 100 aftershocks. Now, this past weekend, we had a very powerful sign in the Shamayim, my friends. Another announcement being made to the many announcements we've seen happening these past 2 months or more, really since late August. And I talked about this in last Saturday's Walk in the Word. Check it out. But last month, Jupiter, the king planet, was birthed fully from the womb of the woman, representing the first of two births seen in Revelation 12, the Zakar, that is the male child, and now Venus, the morning star, representing Yeshua himself, just totally converged with the king planet, Jupiter, representing those taken in the Netchatef, the body of Yeshua, taken at the rapture. So the announcement of the Zakar, the male child, joining with Yeshua in the Shamayim, has been made. And as I pointed out in last Thursday's word study, now we can know and we can be assured that the Netchatef, the rapture, is soon to happen. This is what's being said in Elohim's book in the Shamayim, the heavens. Now, those of you who have been with me for a long time, and or those of you who have watched many of my videos, know that I have a great love for Chuck Missler. Well, he has a video just released less than 2 weeks ago titled, "The End Times Are Here." Of course, I have a link for you below. I'm telling you, my friends, you really do not want to miss this one. First, Chuck, who is now 83 years old, looks a whole lot better than last time I saw him. I don't know what has transpired, but something good, because he looks better. He's bursting with his usual energy. And most of all, he is asked some very powerful questions that are only paled by his magnificent answers. I love Chuck so much. There's just never been anyone like Chuck Missler. Now also, Paul Skatarski, creator of all the characters on the Zeus Mossbender YouTube channel, put up a video last Tuesday titled The Shamayim Report, that I encourage you to watch, and I have a link to that as well for you below. Also, he has a different take on Mars than Paul Dawson does, and, it needs to be considered. Plus, I have a link to another of Paul Skatarski's videos for you titled Kill Shot. You'll want to check that one out too. And take note of what he says about using the Kodesh words and names when you are speaking to those who are not familiar with them. And know, my friends, that I am in total agreement. We benefit beyond measure by recognizing and becoming accustomed to and familiar with the Father's Aramaic Hebrew words that he used, Elohim used, the Father and Yeshua and the Ruach, to create everything, including us, with. But not when we're speaking to those who haven't yet been educated in them. No, we use the words and names they are familiar with, and then if they show an interest, and if they ask questions, then, and only then, do we add to their knowledge and understanding. Note, I'm removing Robert Breaker from my list of Watchmen below, Chavarim. It's nothing personal. I'm just not seeing him as focusing on the role as Watchmen all that much. Now, one final note here, my friends. For 2 weeks in a row now, in my Walking in the Word videos, I talked about this crazy person who was posting attacks against Adam from the Parable of the Vineyard YouTube channel under this newscast. Turns out that the YouTube account that was being used to attack Adam was not the actual person who owns the account. Rather, it was a hacker of that person's account. And that person's father posted under last week's news explaining what happened. I answered him. But, crazy stuff just keeps getting crazier lately, my friends. Satan's tactics are expanding in ways none of us are aware of. Please be extra careful about what you spend time on and who you are listening to. There are more lies being promoted than ever before. And by the way, this coming Thursday, I thought I was finished with our study in Matthew chapter 24, but no, Abba had me do one more, and this is to clarify to you and everybody you know that Matthew chapter 24 is not speaking to Jews only, as many profess. I'll see you on that count this Thursday. Turning to wars and rumors of wars. From BBC News, Iran is establishing a permanent military base inside Syria. The Iranian military is said to have established a compound at a site used by the Syrian army outside El Kiswa, some 50 kilometers, around 31 miles, from the Golan Heights, and 14 kilometers, around 8 miles, south of Damascus. Note, Israel is going to be all over this, my friends. And on Wednesday, November 8th, from Tasnim News Agency, Syria's army and its allies captured the last ISIS stronghold, al-Bukamal, in Syria. Syrian state television also confirmed that al-Bukamal has been liberated and said the fighting would pave the way for Syrian troops to regain full control over the border town. Then on Saturday, November 11th, from Haaretz, a Syrian drone on an intelligence-gathering mission in the Quneitra area was shot down by Israel's Patriot missile defense system after it entered the demilitarized zone and flew towards Israel. Turning to our Intifada update on Wednesday, November 8th, from the Jerusalem Post, Israeli border police arrested a 17-year-old Palestinian armed with a knife at the Cave of the Patriarchs in Hebron. Then from Ynet News, guards at Israel's Tziot prison thwarted an attempt to smuggle cell phones to a Fatah security prisoner when his 5-year-old child, who was visiting the facility, was found to be carrying 10 cell phones and 3 SIM cards in his underwear. And on Thursday, November 9th, from the Times of Israel, a Palestinian man was arrested near the entrance to Kochav Yaakov in the West Bank after a search of his backpack revealed a meat cleaver and another knife. The level of sophistication in these modern-day weapons is astounding, is it not? Turning to our review of last week's news, a 7.3 magnitude earthquake hit the Iraq-Iran border, killing more than 330 people and injuring more than 2,500. Iran is establishing a permanent military base inside Syria, just south of Damascus and a bit east of the Golan Heights. Syria's army and its allies captured the last ISIS stronghold in Syria. A Syrian drone in the Quneitra area was shot down by Israel's Patriot missile defense system. Israeli border police arrested a 17-year-old Palestinian who was armed with a knife at the Cave of the Patriarchs. Guards at Israel's Tziot prison thwarted an attempt to smuggle cell phones to a Fatah security prisoner, and a Palestinian man was arrested in the West Bank after a search of his backpack revealed a meat cleaver and another knife. And that, my friends, is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Abba willing, I'll see you here again next week. Until then, keep your wicks trimmed. Keep your lamps burning bright. Shalom, my friends.
Crowded rooms, I need more space than I consume. Enough is time alone with you, underneath a naked moon, sharing confidential moods and making chatter. Mockingbird nocturnal sings notations of eternal things, entering the quantum breeze, flying not for want of wings. He lights his gaze on you and me, simply because we matter.